all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to Divinely Decked Tarot and Oracle Reviews done Stacy style. And today I'm super excited to be connecting with you guys to talk about this GlimmerWalker Tarot. And I saw this when I was looking at an Etsy shop. And it just kind of stood out to me. And if you guys have been following me for a while, I tend to like these decks that have a little bit of whimsy, that are a little bit more, I want to say, cartoonish, but still have a lot of depth. And I think part of that is because I love bold colors. I love bright colors. That's what keeps me alive. And so this deck arrived last night, and I have to tell you, it took everything I had to not go ahead and open it beforehand. I wanted to make sure that this was going to be, a complete unboxing and give you guys the full effect of it. So let's take a look. It is not in cellophane, so I kept it in the bubble wrap the way that it arrived to keep it safe. And oh my God, let's just take a look for a second. We have this beautiful gold gilding, a gold filigree. It's also got a little bejewel bedazzle in there. There's a lot of sparkle. And here we have a depiction of what I'm going to say is the strength card, because we have this beautiful lion that is gracing us with its presence. And so let's just take a look at the box. Here we have GlimmerWalker Tarot. It is printed in China. I love the imagery back here. I love that, quite frankly, there are no words here. It's like the picture is worth 1,000 words. The pictures speak for themselves. And this deck was touted as a beginner deck. Ooh, I like that. There's a nice little design on the side. Look at the backs of the cards. Absolutely gorgeous. I love the black energy, the black background, and then it just makes all the colors pop. So clearly I am not a beginner. Ooh, it's got a nice little depiction of a lotus there, a meditator celebrating. There's a little yin and yang symbol there, which I think is great. I'm not a beginner tarot enthusiast, but I still really appreciate sometimes these beginner decks, because the beginner deck often gives you imagery that allows the intuition to come to light, rather than sort of that system of tarot. So we have this beautiful book. It's nice and thick. I really like it. Lynn LZ. So let's take a peek here from the author. And so I guess the author is Chinese. I did get this through, it was out of not Washington, but maybe New Hampshire or something. Anyway, it came from the US. So maybe the author has is dual. So here we have the Chinese at the beginning, and now we have the English version, the major arcana, the minor arcana. Of course, it comes with pictures, it comes with keywords and a little bit of a description. You can feel free to pause your device if you want to read that. It's got the reversed reflections, shadow energy. Oh, that's interesting. So it gives you the shadow fruit. So it looks like, and there's a special card, fearless, non-action, Anatman. Ooh, I'm excited to check this out. Yay! Okay. And I love that it has sort of the little slip and slide, the money clip, rather than plastic, than the cellophane, because I find that, if you go to open something up, you can damage the gilding on the back. And oh my God, guys, the gilding on here is incredible. It's almost like galaxy energy. So you've got a flecks of blue and flecks of purple in there, but it is a black, kind of a gray black gilding. Oh my God, I'm so excited. So let's check out the card quality. Card quality is decent. It's thinner. It's definitely easier to bend, but I think it's going to shuffle really well. I love that it's got a little bit of a sheen to it, but not super shiny. I think that's really important as well when we are working with cards. It looks a little pixelated. I feel like maybe it's supposed to look like a linen card. It doesn't feel like linen paper, but I could be wrong on that. It could absolutely be linen. It just feels a little bit different than linen paperwork that I've had. This is Mr. Neo coming to say hello. Thank you for gracing us. So here we have King of Fruit. So, okay, I'm going to just go to the book here to see what is what in terms of the suits and how they're broken up. Okay, so here we have the radiant kingdom of fire, the deep sea city of water, the thundercloud island of air, and the magical forest of earth. This is interesting. So let's see where it's going to tell us. Okay, so we have light. The fire element embodies the energy of yang within yang. So fire is light. Shadow, the yin within yin. This is cups. This is water. That's interesting. Shadow and water. That'll be cool to look at. Thunder, yin within yang. This is swords. So then fruit is pentacles, I would assume. Let's just double check. Yep, yang within yin corresponds to the pentacles in the classic Rider-Waite-Smith. So here we have the king of pentacles, the king of fruit. Very interesting. And we've got this shadow figure in the background here. Queen of fruit. Okay, Fuzzy, you make a better door than a window. I know you want to participate. Knight of fruit. Trying to get it where we're not getting the reflection of the light. There we go. You know, what's interesting as I'm looking at this imagery, page of fruit, it's very dark. And this is not something that I would sort of expect to see or anticipate seeing when it comes to pentacle energy, because the pentacle is the thoughts that have become things. It's what has become manifest in the world, right? In your world, what has already come to pass. It is the health and the wealth. So seeing the dark, coming from the shadow, this is very interesting to me. And of course we have, okay, Fuzzy. Okay, sorry about that. I had to remove Neo because he was just being a bit more of a hindrance than a help at this point. So we have the page of fruit here. And again, there's a lot of this dark energy. Of course, he's back. There's a lot of this dark energy, but it's like the page is holding, it almost looks like a magnifying glass in here. And holding into that magnifying glass, it's like he's looking into the light. He's seeking the light. So he's not afraid of the dark. He's in the dark, and perhaps he's beginning his own, I want to say his own awakening journey. You know, this could be what is transpiring for him as he's coming to life. Here we have the 10 of fruit. This is 10 of pentacles coming up here. And it's about that legacy, connecting to family and friends, sharing what it is that you have. So very interesting. I wasn't anticipating this actually. 9 of fruit, 9 of pentacles. It's little vines. It's not mushrooms, but it almost puts me in mind of mushrooms that are sort of growing from the darkness, growing from the earth. We have this beautiful dragonfly that's being depicted here. Dragonflies are about flexibility, adaptability. Here we have the 8 of fruit. So 8 of pentacles, the work, the effort that goes into putting things together, the mastery, the path of mastery, a card of higher education, learning the details. You know, I always like to say it's bedazzling something, perfecting your craft. It has almost like a little bit of a Danny Elfman kind of feel here. What do you call that? Nightmare Before Christmas. Just here with the depiction of things. 7 of fruit coming up here. That 7 of pentacles, reaping the rewards of the harvest. 6 of fruit, generosity. So you've got this person that's watering the plant energy here, giving back. recognizing its connection here. 5 of fruit, 5 of pentacles. This is a card of worry. This is a card of fear, anxiety, worry, scarcity, not having enough. And you've got these 2 figures that are walking away from the plants, walking away from the light. Perhaps they don't feel worthy. Here we have the 4 of fruit. 4 of fruit is very interesting. I like all the swirling energy around it. 4 of fruit, 4 of pentacles typically is a card where it is greediness, representing the, I want to say like the stability of things. I don't want to share. I need to protect what I've got going on here. And so you've got someone sitting here and are they living their life? Or are they just so focused on making sure that they've got what it is that they need, that they're kind of missing the boat on getting out there and living life. Here we have 3 of fruit, 3 of pentacles, collaboration. They're working together for him to be able to take something from the plant that they need. 2 of fruit, 2 of pentacles, balance and resources. That's a great depiction. Ace of fruit. Very pretty. Of course, not a soul in here. We have the light from the plant that is representing itself. King of Thunder. Okay, so thunder is swords, King of Swords energy. And of course, it's being represented by the lightning. We have the purple in the background. So it is our intuition. It's our sovereignty. This is, us being allowed to be here kind of thing. That energy of I'm here, I've arrived, this is where I'm supposed to be. Queen of Thunder, absolutely beautiful. This is about boundaries and boundary setting. And she's working with the energy here. I don't know if you guys can see that. She's working with the energy here. And there are all of these beautiful butterflies that are coming out the side of it. Here we have the Knight of Thunder. Loving this Knight of Thunder energy. He is he's sailing on it. He's not afraid of it at all. He's like, all right, let's do this. I'm in. I'm all in. And he looks like a beautiful butterfly. I think that's gorgeous. Here we have the Page of Thunder. So a student of this energy, a student of the air element. What is that air element here to teach him? He's ready to learn. 10 of Thunder. So 10 of Swords, ruin. We see this figure that, okay, they've bitten off a little more than they can chew. They got electrocuted. And so now it's time for a new beginning, a fresh start. And there's transformation that is occurring here. Who knows what they're going to be like on the other side? I'm thinking Peter Parker, getting bit by the spider. He suddenly comes up with new superpowers, right? Here we've got 9 of Thunder. So 9 of Swords, they're showing some anxiety. The sword energy is behind them, that electricity, but there's always something positive for them that they're maybe just not focusing on because they're stuck in their head about what is transpiring. They're stuck in their feels. 8 of Thunder. So 8 of Swords. This is, I like to say it's entrapment, but it's also liberation on the other side of it. And this figure can leave at any time, but there might be a little bit of pain involved in leaving the circle. Their fear is keeping them there because they're afraid to cause the harm or to get the surface cuts and bruises in order to move through. But they would heal from that in a really big way. They would heal if they allowed themselves. And that's where the liberation comes up. 7 of Thunder, 7 of Swords. And so it's a card of integrity. It's a card of strategy. And I feel here when I'm looking at this depiction, it is really about the strategy that's being applied and enacted here. He's on his own little island and he's got to get over here. And he's not quite sure how to do that, but he's looking at, maybe I can ride the energy. I can use this energy to transport me to the next level, the next location. Here we have the 6 of Thunder, moving on to calmer shores, support and grace. And here there's a guide that is taking them forward, taking in them through the electric storm and onto the other side into safety. Five of Thunder, so conflict. Lots of conflict going on. You can see they're all separated. They're all in their own little corners. And how are we going to get through that? Four of Thunder. This is really kind of cool. I like that you've got one underneath in that Four of Swords, and then you've got one up top, and then there are two others that are kind of in support of it. Four of Thunder, Four of Swords is a card of truce. It's a card of rest, getting out of your head a little bit and getting more into the heart space, not trying to solve heart problems with the head. And I like this because I feel like in this instance, the air is being supportive. It's saying, we've got you covered, so you can relax. You can think this through differently. You can not think about this at all and step more into a space of feeling. You're safe. We've provided a safe space for you. Three of Thunder. Yeah, the more I'm feeling into this card, it doesn't feel like a traditional linen card to me. But I'm pretty sure this is a linen cardstock. So very interesting. Okay. Three of Thunder, Three of Swords, heartbreak, right? Needing self-care, needing a bit of a timeout to be able to connect. Oops. Two of Thunder, Two of Swords. So having a choice to make and needing to connect with your intuition in order to make it. Ace of Thunder, Ace of Swords. I like this. I like how this is depicted because it almost looks a little bit like a laurel wreath here. So there's victory in this. There's success in this, even though it is a potential. It's the success of winning the potential, getting to that place where the potential exists. Here we have the King of Shadows. So this is cups in this deck, and it's a big jellyfish. Beautiful. King of the Jellyfish, Queen of Shadow, Queen of the Jellyfish. Here she is touching and nurturing that jellyfish energy. It almost looks like a brain. It's kind of like touching that mental space, doing it gently, connecting with it telepathically. Here's the Knight of Shadow, playing on it, using the energy to protect, but to also play. And that's interesting because that's usually a page energy. Let's see the page. Oh, swimming to it. So it's first initial connection to the jellyfish itself. Almost like an introduction. Here's the 10 of Shadow, 10 of Cups, an evaluation. You know, you've arrived. This is I want to say it's the ideal outcome. And the ideal outcome is that, okay, you made a successful, interaction with the jellyfish, and now the jellyfish are part of your family, right? They're part of your friendship. Your friend circle. Here's the 9 of Shadow, absolutely beautiful. And here it is, the perfection of your craft. This is the generosity. This is the, I want to say the arrival at what you've been working towards. This is playing the concert and receiving a lot of appreciation for the work that you do. And I feel like this is the jellyfish that are standing in honor of this little child, because it feels like a little child figure. 8 of Shadow. This is really cool. So when we talk about 8 of Cups, it's a walking away. This is the child that says, I got to walk away from you guys and try something on my own. You've helped me out as much as you can, and now I've got to go and figure this out on my own. I got to see if I can do it. 7 of Shadow, that's 7 of Cups energy. So much choice, so much option. Who's going to help me? Who's going to be the one to save the day, to rescue me, to give me the information that I need? This is interesting that I'm like working backwards in the deck. 6 of Shadow. This is really interesting. So 6 of Cups is often that nostalgia, connecting to the past. Here I feel a lot of energy, on the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith, we have 2 children sort of connecting, playing. A lot of readers read it as the soulmate card. For me, the soulmate card is the 2 of Cups. The 6 of Cups here is going back into maybe easier days, brighter days, days where there wasn't so much responsibility. You didn't have to be so in your head. You could be a little more in your heart space and in your feels. And that's what I feel this is depicting here. Is it's almost like they're sharing a memory. These two jellyfish have come together to share the memory of what once was, just to remind you of what can be, again, just in a different form. Here we have the Five of Shadows, Five of Cups. This is death. This is grief. This is loss. And that's depicted by, we've got it's like a shipwreck under the ocean. And, the being is like, oh, I'm so sad that there was just so much loss. I didn't get here in time. Four of Shadows, Four of Cups energy. Despondency, disappointment, delay. Also, this card is depicting this person just kind of in meditation, kind of in a wait mode, waiting for the instruction, waiting for the next step. I'm ready for the foundation. You let me know what the next step is. So this is also someone who has a difficult time making up their own mind or making a decision on how they're going to move forward. Three of Shadows. So this is kind of interesting because it is a card of celebration, and we do have three figures here who are in celebration. And I want to say the jellyfish are like teaching the people how to be in celebration in the depths of the water, because it's not their normal element, right? So you can play in the deeper shadows of your ocean of emotion. Two of Shadows, Two of Cups. So again, I always see this more as like a soulmate card, and soulmate doesn't always mean romantic partnership or relationship. Just means two souls that understand one another and can really see each other. I love this because you've got the two beings, and then there's this third energy that is coming through as a result of their connection, and the jellyfish are supervising it all. It's like they're the matchmakers. They've connected it. They are connected to source energy. Ace of Shadow, Ace of Cups. Beautiful. Just a beautiful image. All right, here we have the King of Light. So now we are on our wands. We have the little lizard that is depicted here, and he's holding that light, and it's going all the way up to, outside of the cave, to the surface. Fireflies all around. Here's that Queen of Wands, Queen of Light energy. We're seeing sort of the shadow version of the sunflower that is showing up in the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. And she's got a cat with these, two glowing eyes. We have little paw prints that are lit up in the background. I think that's a really cool touch. Let me see if I can show you that just at the end here. So cute. I like that energy. Sorry about the reflection. I'm still trying to figure things out. I don't know how everybody does it. I've watched so many videos on, how to get the right lighting and the right support. And I've bought all the equipment, and it's still just, so please forgive me. Have some patience. I'm still working through. Here is the beautiful Knight of Light, that wand's energy, and he is just ready to go. Nothing is going to stop him. He's activated by the light. As soon as he sees the light, he's on it. Page of Light, absolutely beautiful. Almost like in reverence to it. In reverence to it. Here we have the 10 of Light. So 10 of Wands, rewards and the burdens that go with it. We're seeing a lot of trees that are maybe obstacles in the way of where he's trying to go. 9 of Wands, 9 of Light, control energy, exhaustion. I don't know that I'm feeling exhaustion with this as much as I'm feeling a bit of overwhelm. The trees are so big. It's like standing in the redwood forest and looking up and going, oh my God, I'm so insignificant. Where do I start? 8 of Light, 8 of Wands, swift release, communication from afar, travel. Light travels, and light travels in all sorts of forms and guises. And I feel like these little fireflies are traveling. They're holding the messaging. Seven of Light, Seven of Wands. So this is often represented as a card of defense. And I often read the Seven of Wands as the kind of card where you're in your zone of genius and you're willing to share that zone of genius, and people are coming from far and wide to connect with that. But there is, it's like fandom. Some are very respectful and some take too much, and some maybe don't take enough. And so I feel like in that Seven of Lights energy, the defense part also is like knowledge, knowing your boundaries, knowing your strengths, and having to kind of read into people's strengths and weaknesses, where their boundaries are, where they're unboundaried, in order to protect yourself. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here is like, this little guy is walking on, this kind of precarious, yet it's been there for a long time, bridge of sorts going from island A to island B. He carries the wisdom within him. And he just has to be really present with every step that he takes in order to not, sort of fall into the abyss. Six of Light, Six of Wands, beautiful. It's a card of victory. He's being held up in victory, held up in that light. Five of Light, Five of Wands. So this is typically, for me, it's a card of focus or scattered energy. It is about training other people. It is practice energy. It's developing your skills. And it's interesting here because I feel like it's the light, it's the passion, the fuel of life, the soul flame energy that is what is giving this little being focus. Four of Light. So the Four of Light is that, happy celebration, the happy journey. I also see this as a contract card. A lot of people read the Six of Pentacles as the contract card. For me, the Four of Wands is my contract card. And so I feel this is very much, you're making a contract with the environment around you. And you've got these two people that are celebrating. Perhaps they're on their honeymoon. Perhaps they're just out for, a night to commune. But whatever it is, there's a ritual that's happening that symbolizes a new beginning, a fresh start. Here we have the Three of Light, Three of Wands. Three of Wands is a card of expansion. And I love how this is showing the stairway, right? The stairs that this person can get out of the cave and into the light, into the surface, to experience more of it rather than a shard of it. They can be the light and be in the light. Two of Light, direction. So choosing a path, choosing a direction. Ace of Light. I love that there's a tree depicted here. It's really cool. Stability, life. Ooh, the Chariot. Okay, so these are all completely out of order. So the Chariot, number 7 in the major arcana. Absolutely beautiful. We've got the whale and a porpoise here. Movement, going to a different direction. He's riding a star. The sun. Ooh, this is kind of cool. Suns are, the sun card is always a hit or miss for me. I like this one. It feels a little phoenixy. We've got a beautiful phoenix energy. And of course, I love the phoenix. So he's riding the phoenix into the sun. The Fool card. Oh, this is gorgeous. I love the colors in this. So really, this is like indicative of that new journey. And it's almost like a rainbow. It's hinting to that rainbow energy, but not quite a full rainbow. And I just love that energy, that there's just so much promise. The Fool is totally ready to take the leap. Yeah, there are some barbs and shards and things of that nature. There's definitely going to be stuff that he can't see before he takes that leap, but he's not alone, and he's being fueled by his soul. Can't go wrong when you're fueled by your soul. Here's the Lovers. Beautiful depiction of the Lovers. I love the tree, the fire, the mountains. You've got the angel in the background. So a really nice interpretation. It's almost like the snake that's in between them, the apples. A nice interpretation of the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith tarot. The magician. Oh, very cool. So again, depicted as the phoenix, and the phoenix is able to transform and transmute. It's showing the shadow of that phoenix energy, and here is the fool or the magician that's working with this energy, is saying, okay, I'm not the infinity. Like, yes, I have that ability, but when I tap into my shadow and I make that shadow side work for me, and I'm willing to transform myself in that regard, this is where the alchemy happens. This is where the magic happens. Also, the manifestation of it all. He's creating his own world. The emperor. So, of course, we've got the traditional Aries ram and the ram's horns. We have the Ankh here, that everlasting life. We've got, feels like moon energy to me, which normally the emperor is the sun. Holding, so you could say he's holding the sun in his hands. For me, it feels like a moon, and there's all this fire around him. What's really bizarre is I'm not a heaven and hell person, but it almost gives me this impression that the emperor is kind of walking out of hell. He's leaving the shadow, he's leaving the darker components of his life, and he's being given the opportunity to now apply his wisdom and apply his fortitude and his vision onto the surface. So, not to say that he's going to bring hell to the situation. It's saying that he has the potential to do that if he doesn't apply the wisdom that he's learned. And isn't that the way for all of us? The world. Oh, I love this depiction of the world. So, of course, we have all of the elements displayed here. And this figure, she's walking through the door. It's a portal. She's arrived. Like she's passed the, that initial test. She's gone through that full journey. And now she's ready for the next one, ready for the next journey. Judgment. Oh, very cool. So yes, you've got these other souls that are in shadow that are rising up, and now they can go into the light. They can be awakened into that next journey. Really, really beautiful depiction here. Very whimsical. I always love that whimsy in these cards. Here's the moon card. Oh, I like that it's the cycles of the moon being depicted. They've got an owl here. Instead of two dogs, they've got an owl, and then they've got one dog with a very bushy tail. It's got a little bit of red on the tail. The two pillars, the depiction of how they're moving forward. I like that. The star card. Oh, beautiful. It's like a crane or a flamingo or something here. That's kind of interesting. And she's pouring the water. She's pouring her magic into the water, the earth and the water, and blending that with and the air and the water, and blending that in the earth to create the fire, to create the star. I almost feel some alchemical energy here, like a connection to the magician. Here we have the Tower card. Very interesting depiction. This looks like an eyeball. So seeing something from a different perspective, seeing something for the first time in a different way, changes things entirely. I like to say this is the Wizard of Oz in The Wizard in the Wizard of Oz. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain. Dude, I can't unsee ya. And because I can't unsee you, that means that we're going in a different direction. Here is the Devil card. And this is kind of cool. So here you've got two, looks like kitty cats, actually, being depicted. And he weaves his words around them, and they have the illusion that they're trapped, but they're not really trapped. So very similar to that typical depiction that is in the Rider-Waite-Smith. And there's a reflection here. So they can see their reflection. They can see what they look like in the light if they choose to look. Interesting. Temperance. Here we have the beautiful Temperance card. Balance, tolerance, alignment, acceptance. Beautiful. I like that it's depicted as the hourglass, kind of a timing thing. Death. So death is, yes, we're seeing, sort of the ghostly hands that are coming up, but you're seeing this figure taking their boat into the sun, into the light, into the new journey. So the change is afoot. They're getting out of that energy and moving into something new. The Hanged Man, the Hanged One. So the pearl, oh, I love that. The pearl at the bottom of the ocean. It took some time for this to happen, right? The Hanged One. You have to kind of surrender to what is in order for that next magical thing to show up. Justice. So we've got the scales of justice. We've got this little figure sitting in the center of it, providing balance. You've got the feather in the one and you've got the heart in the other. They're both equally weighed and measured. And the air energy, this is a Libra card. So the air, the electricity is coming through down the center of it. Here's the Wheel of Fortune. Really cool. Lots of shift and change happening there. I love the green for the healing, the heart energy. The Hermit. He's conjuring. He's conjuring his visions. He's trying them out before he wants to kind of make them real. The Strength card. Beautiful. So that's what we had on the box. Here we have the Hierophant. Very interesting depiction of the Hierophant. I feel like even though this person is being depicted as the Hierophant, I feel that the Hierophant is actually the flower that has grown, and this little figure is learning from that Hierophant energy. He wouldn't be who he is if he wasn't standing on that flower, if that row of flowers hadn't raised him up. That's kind of an interesting depiction. Here we have the Empress card. Beautiful. So we've got the Venus depiction here. She's in the wheat fields. She's in shadow and everything else is in light around her. I feel like that symbolizes the fact that she doesn't have to be front and center. She's happy to share what is mine is yours. But she's fine to be in the background. She's going to make sure that you've got the things that you need. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to be the star of your own show, to take advantage of what she provides. Here we have the High Priestess. I love that she's in between the moons. There's that moon cycle. And then we have these beautiful lantern lights all around her. There's almost like a ribbon with the Torah here, the Torah. It's almost like the path to enlightenment. She's sharing the path to enlightenment. She's inviting you to join her on the path. And here we have a card of non-action. Okay, so it must be like a gift card. You don't get all three of the special cards. You just get one. So let me just read what non-action is about. What I lose was never truly mine. What I seek binds me in return. All things are for me to use, but I am not beholden to them. A wise person commands objects, not the other way around. The great path is simple. Freedom lies in letting go of desire. Non-action leads to infinite possibilities. The water flows and the road continues. The wind rises and the trees sway. The walker practices non-action, yet moves forward with the flow. Fate and circumstance may exist, but I choose what I will do and what I will not. The walker follows her heart, aligned with the natural order of the universe. Very cool. Well, I have to say I'm a little disappointed that I didn't get all three of the cards. That was that's a little bit of a letdown, just because I'm a Virgo, and so like I like a system and I like to have everything match and matchy and in its order and in its place. So now that I know that there are two other cards, I'm like, I'm going to have to reach out to the author to see if I can get the other two cards. But as I'm shuffling, and in true Stacey fashion and style, we're going to pull a card to find out how this deck wants to work with you. As I'm shuffling them here, they shuffle really, really well. I definitely feel that they have that linen card feel. So I feel kind of dumb that I didn't know that at first, but they just, I don't know, they just have like a different feeling about them. So it's a little deceptive. So they don't spread totally, as well as you would like them to, but they do spread pretty well if you're a person that likes to pull your cards in that way. And all right, let's see how this deck is going to work with anyone who chooses to get it. Four of Shadows, so Four of Cups. So it's going to be a card of contemplation. It's going to be a card for you that allows you to take a little more time when you're making a decision. It's going to give you that pause, that time out to reflect on maybe different aspects of the issue, that the subject matter that you're processing and going through. I also want to say it's going to point out where you might be crying over spilled milk or feeling sorry for yourself. And it's not going to let you do that for long. So I often see this card as kind of like a victimhood card, where we can step into a little victimhood. I feel like this jellyfish is coming through to say, no, we're not going to let you do that. I'm going to shine a light on something that maybe you're not prepared to see, or you haven't thought about. You don't know that it exists. But once you see it, you're going to have more understanding of where things are coming from. So I feel that this is going to shine a light on areas that you need to see for yourself when you are pulling a card for a reading. It's going to give you great clarity as a result of that. It's going to establish the kind of foundation that you're going to need to be able to resolve that situation or to understand what the next step is. And that feels really good. All right, guys. So that is our unboxing of the GlimmerWalker Tarot deck by Lynn LZ. It's a 2024 deck. It's brand new. And I hope you got something out of this. Put in the comments whether you enjoyed this deck, if it reminds you of another deck, maybe things that you would change about the deck. And I would love to hear from you guys. And otherwise, I'm going to say sending lots of love and support your way. And we'll see you for a next video soon. Transform well. That's our show for today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was great to connect with you guys. Please like, subscribe, and comment for more content like this. And feel free to follow me on Blue Sky for even more content every single day. Can't wait to see you guys next week for another installment of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life.